Namaste, greetings, and welcome Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant Rising signs. Cheers to you, Cappy. Got some coffee in here, and I was out getting some air, had my feet on the ground, and, not like barefooted to the ground. It's winter and it's cold, and I wasn't doing that, but put my feet on the ground, and I thought about you. I thought about how your video was next. I thought about what I was doing, and I was grounding for your video. So for those of you who don't know, I'm just gonna share. In my chart, my natal chart, I have a Capricorn moon, and so I'm also reading for myself in this video. Not all my videos, if you're new, not all of my videos have such a large introduction, but this is a big video. This is a longer video than is typical with the free monthly readings. That is because it's the first month of 2019. We made it. We made it. So the extended version is also going to be available, and we'll talk about that a little bit later, probably while I'm shuffling. I can multitask a little bit and, hopefully be appreciating your time and keeping you entertained. These are some lovely cards, and I'm using several different decks with this reading. So we're using, where'd the box go? We're using the Crystal Wisdom Healing Oracle by Judy Hall, as well as the Wisdom of the Trees Oracle with Jane Struthers. And this deck is by request, so I just want to point that out. If you're new or for whatever reason Spirit wants you to hear this, I'm open to requests and things like that. So please don't be shy if you want to see a specific deck or have a request. I'm also using the Goddess Guidance Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue, the Zodiac deck I use, and I'm just going to be honest, I don't know how to pronounce this person's name. If you'd like it written down or something, I guess I could get back to you and give you that. It's the Secret Language of Color cards. Anyway, I've been working with these decks for a little while now, and this is so exciting. It's so exciting to come on and do the end of year wrap up cards for you and the 2019 theme cards for you, and your monthly reading for January. So, yes, what I am doing, I'm going to do a look first using these two decks, as well as the Zodiac cards and the Secret Language of Color cards into 2018. And this is going to be a little bit different than theme messages. The intent behind this card pull is, excuse me, I have to cough. Sorry about that. Is for you to get a message from Spirit, or messages from Spirit, about 2018, now that we are in 2019, or if you're watching this video early in the, the tail end of 2018, it's a retrospect look. It's a retrospective look, and that's been going really well with all of the signs. Yours is the 10th video. This time I just went in order. So, let's see. I think we can get started. 2018 for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, Rising. Okay, so as lovely as this crystal deck is by Judy Hall, I do have to complain a little bit because I cannot find the pronunciations for these crystals in that book. So I'm not going to pronounce the crystal. But here's the image, and I am going to open the book for both of these decks. I like to read out of the book. So this is your 2018 card. With these, you can listen for sun, moon, and ascendant rising signs, right? And if you do that, you may notice that there's some fluctuation in um, the spreads, because I'm really doing these as intuitive channel readings for each sign, and coming from that angle rather than adhering to a structured thing. I mean, you can definitely do channeled readings with a structured format where everybody's cards are read in the same order and stuff, but this is just how Spirit's guided me to do it. And anyway, enough small talk, distract you from this long intro. Okay, this is such a neat little picture for 2019, but we'll get into 2019 after we look at 2018. I'm just going to finish laying out all of the cards before I start reading your tree card Hornbeam, and this beautiful like turquoise colored green. I guess it's green. It's green, and I think there's some blue in it too. This crystal card that's come up for you. So Capricorns, I've been choosing to share, a little bit of information and astrology about what's going on in these videos. And one thing that's really interesting that's going on is, now that we're entering 2019, and actually just approaching it towards the end of 2018, all of the planets are starting to kind of line up in their home signs. So there is this strong undercurrent energy of coming home to self, coming home, which is really, high vibrational and lovely. The signs tend to be the most comfortable in their home. Uranus is still going retrograde in Aries, which is not its home sign. There are some planets still doing that, and you've got the personal planets, the Moon and Mercury and so forth, that move very quickly. And that's not the case with the personal planets so much, but the outer planets, Capricorn is now hosting Saturn, so that's your native planet. And I haven't really been talking too much about that and how awesome that is. That's really awesome energy, especially moving into January and moving into a new year, because it's the planet of time, Saturn is, and it's the planet of structure and discipline, and doing work. Hard work is typically how they describe it, but doing hard work, doing things that involve persistence and patience, and taking steps, and then having rewards that match your efforts come through, or being rewarded. And so I think that's a really nice energy to have. But we also have Jupiter, Jupiter, planet of expansion, higher learning, spirituality. Is the planet of benevolence and good luck and good fortune and blessings. That has been in the sign of Scorpio through all of 2018, just about. A lot of 2018 anyway. I really forget. It could have even been the whole year, but there was definitely that energy even before Jupiter actually came into Scorpio. As it was approaching it, that energy is felt by some people. It can be felt. So there's this energy of Jupiter being in Scorpio, and towards the end of 2018, now as I'm recording, and for 2019 primarily, Jupiter is going to be home in Sagittarius. Mars is also entering a home sign of Aries right around the beginning of 2019, the first part of January. And then Neptune and so forth. So, back on track. Jupiter, 2018. Burgundy, awaken your passion, by the way, is your color card. Very scorpionic energy. And I'm seeing there was so much heavy Scorpio energy in 2018. 8th house and scorpionic energy. I'm seeing it all over the place in all the readings when I do the 2018 part. Not only was Jupiter there for about it stays in each sign for about a year. It doesn't return for about 12 years. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that aspect as we go on, but not only was Jupiter in Scorpio, but also Venus and Mercury retrograded in the sign of Scorpio, and that extended their stay in Scorpio. And so we had a lot of scorpionic energy. There's a lot of like exposure of demons coming to the surface, stuff from the quote unquote underworld coming to the surface, having to interact with them, or face them, observe them, but demons kind of being in your face a little more in 2018. And very transformational energy as well. So let's see what we have in the cards here. Aquarius, Gemini reversed, Burgundy, awaken your passion, and then your crystal and your tree card. Crystal card, tree card. And I'm just going to tell you the rest about Jupiter and Scorpio, that I think is pertinent when the messages from Spirit and reading the cards invokes me to. So Hornbeam's keyword is strength. This is a good time for you to work on new ideas, especially ones relating to personal projects, and to cultivate your creative talents. These will lead to fresh opportunities, and your renewed enthusiasm will rekindle your passion for life. Okay, so if any of you are like, yeah, I didn't see that in 2018, well, here's a couple of things, right? Spirit, first of all, would say, well, have you sat down with a pen and a piece of paper and put your mind to the task of noticing that? Yeah, that's something you could do as an end of year, beginning of year, sort of mental or whatever, written exercise. And then secondly, the case may be for you that you've planted the seeds for this and it's starting, but it's so fresh and new that you're not really noticing it yet. It really hasn't come to you yet. But it is a truth that's going to pay out. You're going to be able to look back and say, oh, that's, what I started building with 2018, or that's what I built. That's where that foundation came from in regards to something. Let's take a look at this crystal card. And the key word with this is self-love. It's tranquil and sustaining. It encourages you to remain serene and strong during change or challenge, dissolving destructive emotional programming. It increases energy assimilation. It's healing insight. Bitterness and self-doubt have no place in well-being. It is good to nourish your body with self-love and gentleness. Divination. Forgive yourself. Accept with equanimity what you cannot change. So there was an element here with 2018 and sort of a power button for you in acceptance, in the actual act of acceptance of what you cannot change. All right, so it says, let go of hurt and rectify situations that can be healed. Be magnanimous. Be magnanimous. There we go. My tongue got lazy. Sorry, guys. Remain impartial and speak your own truth, but recognize when to keep silent. Magical rituals may keep you chained to the past. There may be past life trauma to heal around being a woman for some of you. Yeah, so one thing with Scorpio is it is a complex sign, and it the 8th house and Scorpio rule or are governed or associated with, however you want to word it, a number of different things, including sex and sexuality. We've got passion here coming up with 2018 for you, and that definitely, is a scorpionic thing too. I mean, the other signs Mars rules Aries. That's also associated with passion. Scorpio may have triggered some issues with sexuality or your gender or sex, and issues of that nature may have been different somehow in 2018. They may have looked different. So, where was I in the book? Self-understanding. You have infinite capacity for forgiveness. Love yourself. If you cannot accept yourself, you cannot give love or accept the love to others. If you cannot accept yourself, you cannot give love or accept the love of others. To heal your emotional black hole, connect to the universal love that is inside you. It never runs out. You can then give love out to the world and receive it in a never-ending flow. Okay. That's really powerful for me. That's a really powerful message for me. Like I mentioned, I have a Capricorn moon, so I'm also reading for myself. That's a really powerful message for me. Because I've been telling this little antidote, or not antidote, what is it? It's a little story, sort of with an analogy in it, about the way I experienced 2018, and when I'm reflecting, back on the year, from the end of the year right now, it was like that energy of Scorpio and Jupiter and all of that, like heavy scorpionic energy. With 2018, for me, it looked like, it was sort of like we're normally in this reality, right, where there's a lot of things that we have in our unconscious that we suppress, we keep repressed, and things that are dark, quote unquote, darker aspects, that we leave kind of mysterious and secret because we don't really want to look at them. They kind of get in the way of some of the things we try to do on planet Earth, right? Well, Scorpio is the sign that it's the sign where those things are, and it's the sign of, there's a duality with Scorpio. So it is about privacy, it is about the mystery and secrets and keeping that under wraps. But at the same time, it is the house and the sign that can and often will encourage looking at those things. Okay? Because with Scorpio, from the perspective of the 8th house, and I'm not talking about people when I say Scorpio, please understand that's a really immature understanding of astrology. It's something, people do a lot when they've just start hearing about astrology or haven't heard very much about it. And that's okay, but please don't do it because I want you to understand the message here. All right, so sip of coffee. So because of that, when we're in this dense Scorpio energy, this heavy Scorpio energy, right, we're sort of stepping in that world. And in the 8th house, in the house of Scorpio, it's like usually in the other houses there's demons sort of behind curtains, in the background, our subconscious. It's like, yeah. And when I say demons, I'm talking like fear is a demon, self-doubt is a demon, things we don't like about ourselves can be demons, or a lot of internal demons. And yes, we can see it reflected through other people and other people's behaviors as well. So these demons are kind of like behind curtains and stuff. You can sort of hear them rustling. You're aware that they're there, but we don't really pay much attention to them. And in 2018, there seemed to be a lot of like just pulling the curtains back, like, hey, monster party, like just pull the curtains back, like there's the demons. We're gonna acknowledge that they're here from a new perspective now. Like, we're gonna actually see them, and they're gonna walk around us. And I think they were interacting differently with different people, you know, on a very individual basis. But it's like, well, how are you interacting with these demons? What was going on? Right? Are you running from demons? Did you spend 2018 running from demons, like yelling at demons, getting yelled at by demons here, like trying to just drown out and have patience and wait it out while demons are just like howling in your ear? Did you have, you know, demons? Were you fighting demons? There was definitely an interacting with our inner demons, right? Now, this is interesting. You have Aquarius and you have Gemini reversed. So let's talk about Gemini reversed first. So this would be indicating a blockage or an imbalance having to do with the third house, having to do with the energy of Gemini. This could be distant relatives, nieces, nephews, uncles, aunts, great-grandparents, etc., in-laws as well, step families, adopted families, things like this. It can also be acquaintances, people you know casually. It can be talking about communication in general, being able to speak, communication, writing. This can have to do with gossip. This can have to do with research. The keywords with Gemini are I speak. I think it is. No, it's I think. Gemini's I think. But the thing is, it's kind of funny that I've done that in other videos. I've said that. And it's kind of funny because we have the twins here. Gemini is the sign of twins and the sign of duality. And, you know, whereas Scorpio is the sign of the Trinity, life, death, rebirth cycle, and the Scorpio, the eagle, the phoenix, or the dove, right, the Trinity. And Gemini is the sign of duality. So this was coming up reversed, showing, I believe, you probably working through this blockage, like starting to remove the blockage or correct the imbalance here. I think this is potentially one of the demons that was presenting themselves to you in 2018. Something, whatever it was, this is very general reading, so whatever the specifics of that were for you. Aquarius in the 11th house is could be humanitarianism. It can be technology, and it's electricity, and that includes your own electric body and your nervous, kind of your nervous system, more your electrical body though, your electric body, your energetic body, right? Chakras. I think chakras also you could find in the 11th house. Aquarius is things eccentric, things unexpected, things outside the box. It's innovative energy, it's inventive energy. And so you have that for your theme card as well. Yes, these can be people. For some of you, it may be, Gemini in your life or Aquarius in your life. But I do think, Spirit will speak on different levels, and, there's some additional messages in there beyond that, if that is the case for you. So awaken your passion. It was like you guys were in your armor in this room where the curtains got pulled back and the demons came out, and the veil was lifted and the worlds were one, were sort of one, were meshed. It's like you guys were in your armor, and you didn't really have you had a lot of training, but at the same time there were a lot of unexpected things that came at you. And I think some of you were like remembering and rerouting and going on skills that you had started building, because Gemini is also about learning and skills and gathering data. Okay. And one of those things, we're talking about like universal laws. We're talking about like core truths, right? One of those things related to your passion and the power you have in your passions and in following your passions, following your heart. And then also some clues about that were mentioned with the crystal, right? This crystal really speaks to me about relaxation and tranquility and calmness, and how you can have sort of a more rational response a lot of times. It's given the number 4 here with the cards, and 4 is a number that represents like the legs of a table, stability, foundation, groundedness. Definitely one of the key things and lessons with 2018 had to do with grounding for your sign. It had to do with grounding and being grounded. And so another thing with this part of the reading, the 2018 part of the reading, is not only does it give you a retrospect, but it also does, it's giving you the information Spirit wants you to have about 2018 now in 2019, under the skies, in the astrology of 2019. So there's an element here of integrating this, okay, integrating it. And one of the things with the energy of Scorpio and the energy of the 8th house is it can, in that whole underworld element as well, though everything has its shadow and its light. So Scorpio can be seen in a very light manner doing this, and Scorpio can also be seen with that shadow side doing this. All right, guys, but it's the clingy element. You can find some very clingy stuff when you get into the 8th house, because it's the sign of still waters running deep, and it's the sign of deep emotional connection, deep emotional merging and sharing. And so when we talk about that, and we talk about the demons, Neptune was retrograde in 2018 as well, which has an element in relation to this demon analogy I'm using too, that I'll mention in a little bit. You got blue over here for 2019, which resonates to Neptune's energy. One of the things with this room of demons, where you were in your armor and you were fighting these demons and learning about yourself, and your super conscious and your unconscious and your own consciousness and things more in life and so on, is that one of the things that these demons can do is they can kind of cling with you and be hard to shake off, right? And that's why I'm using the analogy of a battle too, is because it really takes some effort, some persistence, some determination, some Saturn power, some Saturn power. And so this is the information also that your spirit guides are bringing to me to relate to you, reflect back to you, about how and what you can do to integrate 2018, shake off any of that like dead snake skin that you no longer need, that's going to be like itching on your fresh new snake skin as we enter 2019. All right. Yes, I know that for some of you who are expecting, really craving very specific answers, some of this information may sound vague. That is not an accident. That is not my lack of skill. That is intentional. Spirit does that. Like, the spirit guides will do that to gift you a element of privacy, and me an element of privacy, right? Like, there are certain things that spirit likes to translate into your brain directly, and certain things that spirit likes to or will have come through other people. And I think that's a truth for everybody in life. So please don't take it personally if you don't get an answer that you are craving immediately from a reading. it just pushes the energy, like it puts up resistance. And anyway, let's get into 2018. I'm really excited about that. We have your card here. Ba boom, there you are, your energy. So this is lovely. This is like that coming home energy I was talking about. So awesome. So awesome. All right, no more Saturn retrograde. No more Saturn. Was Saturn even retrograding recently? I don't know. But, do you know, Saturn's home. And when the signs are at the end of their journey on the wheel, like the last sign before they get home, I think unless it's like a sister house, the same element, like it, why would it be the same element? Unless it's like, sorry, I'm getting too into astrology. Like I said, I haven't talked much about this Saturn being in Capricorn energy, but I think it's very important. It's very powerful. It's very grounded. And, it gives the earth signs a unique mission. What that is, I don't know the specifics of, that unfolds in time. But that's my inner truth. I mean, my sun and my rising signs are water, but my moon is an earth sign, and I definitely feel this Capricorn energy within. So we have this card. I would pronounce this rhodosite, but like I said, the likelihood of me pronouncing these crystals correctly is very low at the moment. So I won't try again. But here's the card. Maybe you can see the letters if you'd like to take it down. You can, of course, pause the video. We have the, I don't know how to pronounce the tree this time either, Suji tree, and it's coming up reversed. But this is what it looks like, right side up. You also have Leo here. Spoiler alert, Leo, 5th house, Leo. And that has to do with children. It has to do with joy and bliss and happiness. It has to do with protection, I think, being protective and protection to an extent. It has to do with fun and play and its creative energy. But it is the sign of the child, and there is sort of a certain amount of immaturity also on Leo's shadow side. And again, I'm not talking about people, I'm talking about the energy of the 5th house. So immaturity, childish behavior. What else was I going to say there? Oh, the ego. The ego is also associated with Leo. Aries and Leo kind of are where I see the ego on the wheel. I mean, if you're into astrology and you see it somewhere else, by all means, please point that out to me if you would like to share, because I would love to think about that. We have blue, activate your healing power. And again, we have Saturn. Let me dive into that. Alright, so I'm going to start with the tree card this time. I mean, one thing that comes up here is, we've got structure and the 5th house, which is, a much more spontaneous, unstructured sort of energy. So there's a bit of duality and balancing probably going on with that. For the good, it's healing with 2019. Okay. It says you are feeling out of step with the world around you, as though you don't belong there. Reintegrate yourself with others by sitting quietly in natural surroundings. Honor the sacred nature of all things and all beings. Sacredness is the key word with this card, and I'm also going to read the Diva message with this one. It says, I can remind you of the importance of finding a connection with all the invisible spirits that surround you throughout your life. I can help you to honor them every day and to remember that all aspects of nature are sacred. I don't think that this is so much saying, you're going to get slapped with a ton of challenges that you don't want in 2019, and that's just the way it is. I think what it is saying is there is still going to be some challenges and things in 2019, and this beautiful tree card and this beautiful Saturn card come in as messages and guidance from spirit and your spirit guides to ground yourself, okay? To ground yourself and to remember meditation and your other disciplines that help you achieve success and feel and be and have success in this life, because they're available and they're your friend. They're your friend at this time. Exciting about this crystal. We had a crystal, okay, in 2018 that it was, like heart chakra, throat chakra colors, mainly heart chakra colors, right? And now in 2019, we're having a crystal that is purple. So it's third eye chakra, crown chakra energy. We are on, looking for 43. Alright, one more page, 43. Okay, so this numerologically, I'm for some reason compelled to look at this number, and it comes down to 7. It's the vibrational frequency of the number 7 when we implement numerology, and I felt that was a message of significance for your sign. It's the first sign that I think that's come up with, maybe the second. But I do feel that with your sign as well. Mighty power is the key phrase with this. Whoa. Yeah. I think what's up is for some of us, Saturn is a slower traveling planet, right? And it is the planet of time. And I think for some of us, we haven't even really, even though Saturn has been in Capricorn for a little bit longer than some of this other stuff, Jupiter entering Sagittarius and stuff, it's been at home in Capricorn for a little bit. I don't think Saturn's fully got comfortable there yet. Saturn wants to run around and do all these Virgonian things, all of the little habits it has that leads him to success and little disciplines. He's been, brushing his teeth, and he's shaking out the rug and doing all these things. He hasn't gotten to sit down in his comfy, lazy boy chair and put his feet up yet. And I think in 2019, now we have the planet of abundance and prosperity going home in Sag, home in Sag. I think Saturn's going to get there. And I think because we're Capricorns and, this is our native ruling planet, this is going to affect us in gorgeous ways. Okay. Now, I don't mean to, never mind what I don't mean. That's one of the things I'm having to work on, because Scorpio, I love it. I have Scorpio personal planets, and I do. However, Scorpio can really get in some negative spirals. It can create the staircase to get you to hell. So that's one of those things, shedding off. All right. More coffee. What I was saying earlier when I cut myself off was that I don't mean to build up anybody's false expectations and false hopes. But what the truth is we had Neptune going retrograde as well. And now at the end of 2018, it went stationary direct. As we move along in 2019, we're probably going to feel more and more of that energetic current of Neptune going direct. Neptune is a planet of illusions and misunderstandings, of confusion. Okay. It's also the planet of creative energy, imagination, dreams, sleep, dreams. So that is going direct again, and that's very significant. But I don't want to build up anybody's expectations to a place of falseness and misunderstanding, okay, in doing this reading. I do think there is going to be some work and effort and steps that you need to take on your own, and it's not all going to be, fun and play and laid back and leisurely Leo type energy here. It is also going to involve, self-discipline and care and patience and tasks and maybe checklists, things like that, So there's a balance here. There's definitely a message here for balancing these for success in 2019 and really getting the most enjoyment out of 2019, I think, because that's what your spirit guides are bringing down as a message for you to align yourself with your higher self and your path here that you're carving out. Okay, so it's balancing work and play. There's definitely an importance of that coming up. The divination says, check out the harmony or lack of it in your environment. Earth energies may be disrupting your well-being. The ground around your workplace and your home may need healing and stabilizing by planting suitable crystals in the earth. Healing insight. Living in a healthy, stable environment creates a stable physical body. This zinging crystal is excellent for removing blockages and for adding vitality to the physical body. It cleanses, activates, and powers up all the chakras and harmonizes the etheric bodies. This crystal encourages the flow of Kundalini energy to all of the cells and the spaces between. Oh, so something so wonderful. I don't think our minds can really fully grasp it yet about this energy of the planets coming home to their home signs, is that it empowers us and really reinforces the backup and support that we get from the universe. Okay, it really protects us and makes it safe and favorable to be ourselves, to be our strongest, most authentic selves. There's like a whole they're showing me like a spider's web laid out horizontally, okay, like near the ground. I don't know, that would be normal if it was Halloween, right? We're talking like decorations or something. They're showing me that, and they're saying like there's a whole web or net of this competition, really, that is just going to fall to the ground and get the hell out of our way in 2019. Anybody ready for that? Everybody ready for that? Who's ready for that? All right. Self-understanding, karmic imprints from your past lives or emotional wounds from earlier in your present life may be creating a state of psychosomatic dis-ease. Your own negative or compulsive thought patterns also play a part, as can those of other people directed toward you. Okay. So yeah, again, grounding is going to be very important. Grounding is going to be very important. And also, all work and no play makes Danny snap, right? Or Johnny. I don't know why I said Danny there. Sorry, that was a little creepy. Anyway, from The Shining, creepy movie. The point is this is an important thing too. This fun, this pleasure, like treating yourself well, having fun with your inner child. Your creative energy, what you want out of life, right? And also we talked about that protective energy with Leo. That's not, I think it is very true of Leo, but it's not something that automatically comes to my mind, and I don't bring it up all that much. But for your sign, I did bring it up, and there's a significance to that. That protective energy, it's nothing to fear or worry about, or have, fear or worry that you're going to fail at doing it right. You know what to do. You know what this is. You're ready for it. It's, it's calling out through your element, using your element. Just, it told you that specific thing about the crystals and the energetic frequency. It could be like EMF waves, things like that. And how you might want to bury a crystal, or moving might be the situation for some of you. But there's more too, grounding yourself can mean eating healthy foods, taking care of your responsibilities, right? Hygiene, grounding yourself, very important. There's grounding meditations as well. That's going to be what protects you. That's what is going to be protecting you. They're telling me taking care of your health is a very broad, general way to say it, taking care of your health. And that, that last little paragraph in the book here with the crystal card triggered, the point about this fifth house energy coming into play. That does mean relaxing and de-stressing and having fun and so forth. Okay. What else do we have here? Nope, that is everything in the book. Okay. That was fun. Usually I've been kind of excited and eager to get into January, specifically when I've been doing the readings, but with yours I was up for more messages. I was like, okay, what else do we have about 2019? So I do think that's a good sign. All right. It is exciting though. I do like January's spread, specific spread for January. So what I'm doing is a week by week, but please understand the higher truth that time is much more fluid than it is linear. And so I'm going to pull Cards for week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4 for January, but please understand these weeks are not necessarily going to be 7-day weeks. The first week for you might be like 5 days. The second week might be like 8 days. And there may be some overlap with the energies as well. I'm also going to pull one color card for a general theme message, kind of a highlighted message from Spirit for January for your sign. I'm going to do one color card for each of the weeks as well, but we're also going to do one theme and highlighted message about the month of January from your spirit guides. And we're going to use the colors for that. Wonder where I am time-wise. The last 2 videos surpassed the hour mark. Right up until then, I was staying within an hour. Okay. Woo! Beautiful, beautiful, amazing. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. Oh my goddess. I am so blown away by this. Whoa. Every single one of these 4 color cards is a shade of purple, guys. That third eye crown chakra color. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. All right. We're also using the goddess guidance deck in the week by week. So that's the last one here to lay out, along with your theme color card. Highlighted message. Oh my gosh, this is so gorgeous. I'm not sure if you guys can see this or not. I'm gonna have to show them all to you at once at some point before we wrap this up. Whoa. Okay. All right, and For Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant rising signs, my Capricorn friends, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant rising signs. Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant rising signs. January 2018. 19. Oh my gosh, no. January 2019. Capricorns. All right, spirit guides. What would you like to highlight for the Capricorns? Brilliance. Discover your sparkle. All right, stepping up. Wow. So, when we get into the 8th chakra, I think some people would say the crown chakra too, but really, when I start looking at the 8th, 9th chakras, like that's the area where there's more of the white shades. So, but bam, it's like this third eye crown chakra color, like, wow, times 4, and then it's moving even higher than that. This definitely could be a very spiritual month for you guys, for us. Definitely some major something. It's hot in this room. Whew. Just share that with you because it is, and maybe if I say it out loud it'll go away. Since I'd like it to be a little less hot. Alright, so we have moon reversed in the first week of January. We have fire. We have lavender, connect to mind, body, and soul. And we have Maya, fairness. This situation will be handled in a fair and just manner. Alright guys, so I'm doing personal readings for New Year's. I'm currently working in the Yuletide event and working on like holiday readings, whether it's solstice, winter related, solstice, Christmas, New Year's, or what have you, like the holiday readings. And I'm going to be putting out some more full year readings and New Year readings. Hopefully there are some New Year readings like I mentioned in that event. There's, if you want a full year reading now before I put it out, like just please let me know, and that's not a problem. What was I going to say? Oh, but also you can listen for your sun, moon, and ascendant rising sign or get the extended version if you'd like to do so. What I'm seeing with January 1st through whatever it is that the spirit guides are suggesting it's the first week or so of January, the kickoff energy with January is really having to do with the fact that you don't have to rush, I think, as much as you think you do. Things are okay. Worry is not really your friend. Things are going to be handled in a fair and just manner. Believing that, accepting that. All the cards are mixing down here. Darn it, something's changed in the matrix. They changed something in the matrix. Alright guys, hold on. The moon card coming up does indicate for some people that there will be an element of reflection here. You might be reflecting, I think, like introspective work and reflecting. You may be reflecting on 2018, the past year. You may be reflecting on your whole life. You might be reflecting, not necessarily just reflecting. You may be also sort of dreaming about the future, right, in 2019. But you're getting in touch with your emotions, probably doing some integrative work. And I think there is a need for you to connect to your body, mind, and soul and kind of strengthen yourself up a little bit. 2019, holistically speaking. Fire's on the table also. 2019 is a 3 universal year, like the symbol of fire, the triangle symbol for fire. it is an energy of activation, like I mentioned earlier. Mars is going to be coming home to Aries around this time. Justice is coming in, whatever that means for you personally and individually. It's coming in. You might see it in this first week. Or you might be needing to align yourself and prepare yourself to receive it. And that actually comes from, we've got that, okay, now comes in that Jupiter at home in Sagittarius energy. And we have this needing to believe it in order to see it. Because you're manifesting it. It's like if you're not believing it, if you're not focusing on it, believing it, having faith, and relaxing about it, you're putting up resistance to receiving it. And it delays its arrival. And so for some of you, you might be kind of more active this first week of January. You might have energy that it's a good idea to properly channel through maybe meditation, through getting more exercise. It could be varying quite a bit from Capricorn to Capricorn, because they're giving us the guidance for you to connect to your own body, mind, and soul, right? Through this very beautiful, relaxing, sensuous, that's the key word here, sensuous color in flower, lavender, right? So through your senses, I think, is where you're going to be able to really get self-motivated and be intuitively guided. Let's look at week 2. I'm going to put your brilliance card right up here in front. Week 2 holds all right. So we had a little bit of a mudslide here with the cards. I sometimes feel like I'm reading on a boat. What are you going to do? Life is funny. We had the goddess cards kind of come together from week 2 and week 3. And I'm fairly certain this is the original one that was in week 2, True Love, Guinevere. And then Golden Opportunity is week 3. However, Spirit is definitely letting us know that these cards are going together. There's an overlap here. So they both may be in play for the middle of January, like the 2nd and 3rd week in January. And, also it may be that for some of you, it's this true love card energy that comes first. For some others, it's this golden opportunity energy that comes first. Okay? But I'm going to read it the way that I feel guided to, and remember it with true love on the table in the 2nd week. It says that the romantic stirrings in your heart have propelled the universe to deliver great love to you. You have plumb overcome your challenges. You have Saturn, and you have Jupiter. So I do think that some of you may be expanding yourself, expanding your healing, expanding your heart, expanding your solutions, and expanding many different things possible here. Your good fortune, your luck, right? Expanding your abundance. And you're doing it through taking logical steps towards overcoming any challenges, right? Logical steps towards success, logical steps towards solutions, logical steps towards goal achievement. A big part of the week has to do with this energy of the power of love, right? And being open to receiving love, not just giving love, but also receiving love as well. And you may have a challenge in doing that. You may be fearful. You may still have some of these demons clinging to you from the past, from 2018, that energy, but you're free. You know, Jupiter and Sagittarius are not, it's a very different energy than the sign before it. And we can look at it as, what's the word? What is that word? Holographic. It's very holographic. Right? But we can look at it as a progression, right? With air